الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today we review the previous lecture, trade policy debate. We have two broad categories. First, outward looking development policies. Second, inward looking development policies. The first one, outward looking development policies, encourage free trade. Inward looking encourage self-reliance and restricted trade. Outward encourage free trade. Inward encourage protectionism. Outward encourage export promotion. Inward looking encourage import substitution. Import substitution and export promotion as the best strategy for industrialization strategies. One, primary product export, primary outward export, encourage of agriculture and raw material export. We have 5 demand factors work against this strategy. 1. Low income and price elasticity of demand. Third, slow population growth in developed countries. Third, development of scientific substitution. Agriculture for agriculture protection. The export of manufactured goods represent 4 Asian target. Rising protection as barrier against these products. So we have need for South-South trade to overcome this problem. First, import substitution strategy, and we give bribe IS, meaning import substitution. Simple consumer goods which are imported and replace it with domestic production. The second stage involves expanding domestic production to more sophisticated. Sophisticated meaning high technology goods manufactured item which has linked to consumer goods. Built-in demand for product exists. Replace when we create demand for product exists. The infant industry argument. The role, so we make protect for our industry like infant and children. We have more protection. The infant industry argument, we have debate. The role of backward and forward linkage. The use of tariff and quotas to protect the infant industry. The appropriate exchange rate policy, and we must prepare exchange rate to help in this strategy. If we have overvalue exchange rate, this strategy we must choose it. Why? To reduce the cost of import, intermediate and capital goods for import substitution industry. The disadvantage of this strategy, it could hurt export industry, because export industry we get higher price. encourage capital intensive production. IS strategy include IS meaning import substitution. This is prime for import substitution. IS strategy include making some import cheap. Price of import capital is artificially lower, while prohibiting other manufactured goods. This will encourage capital intensive production. So the reason for failure of import substitution, because of limited by domestic market. Domestic market is very limited. Scale economics may result in monopoly power. This create monopoly between producer. Infant industry never grow up. When increase the period for protection in infant industry, this make it not grow up. Migration and the neglect of rural sector, because of not care about the rural, this causes the rural migration to urban. Fail to improve productivity. The second, export promotion, the second strategy of manufactured goods respond to the failure. Because of the failure of import substitution, we respond to this by export promotion. Involve targeting sector with comparative advantage in world trade to realize economics of scale. Trade liberalization consider export promotion policy because it reduce incentive to produce for over foreign market, like South Korea. Combine the two strategies, IS and EB. IS import substitution, EB export promotion. EB export promotion is market based. It for industry to join the world market. It absorbs more labor to create new jobs, earn more foreign exchange because of exporting, attractive FDI, foreign domestic investment, and this is very important to any economics. Prevent bottlenecks in agriculture sector, because this advantage of agriculture, and this help in this way. And so we make summary. Trade policy debate, export promotion, EB versus import substitution, IS. Trade strategy for development, EB, export promotion versus IS, import substitution. Outward looking versus inward look. Outlook, XEB, EB. Inward law, IS. Export promotion encourage free trade plus movement of capital, free market or trade optimistic. IS concern with or equals stress the need for embarrassed capitalist style of development. Encourage indigenous manufacture, learning by doing. And we learn by doing, and this is very important way. lead to self-reliance and restricted trade. IS promotion started in 1950s and 1960s. EB gains the upper hand in 1970s by RD, research and development. Import substitution concerned few point one less developed countries LDC less developed countries اللي هو developing country should substitute domestic production of imported simple consumer goods. This meaning first stage, substitute domestic production for more sophisticated manufacturing industry. Apply in their policies under the protection of high tariff and quotas for protection. In long run, it will side dual object. There are two objective or aim. A or first, great domestic diversification. Increase export growth as economic sophistication. Thank you. And the second lecture, we read a new subject of. Thank you.